Hi everyone, I'm Lorna Baker from LMB Procurement, a bid writing and procurement consultancy specialising in the public sector. Welcome back to my behind the scenes series where I'm walking you through a real life tender evaluation process. The aim of this is to help bidders to better understand what happens after they've submitted their tender and from the procurement side of the process. If you've seen my previous episodes, then you'll know that I've already covered the tender openings, incomplete submissions and credit checks. Today, I'll be talking about the finalisation of due diligence and the clarifications. So the first set of clarifications that I've been seeking has been on the lots. This particular tender was split by geography. I've got others that are split by trade, by both geography and trade, or any other way of breaking that contract down to allow smaller and more specialist businesses to access public sector contracts directly. Now, in this case, a number of the bidders didn't clearly state which lots they were bidding for. At first, you might think, well, this is just a simple oversight, but when 4 or 5 submissions have the exact same problem, it suggests that there is a problem with the process. Yes, bidders are responsible for being explicit, and yes, they were directly asked the question, which lots are you bidding for? However, I'm not going to disqualify people for human error. Procurement is not about catching people out. It's about running a fair and accessible process where the best suppliers can be successful. So I have sought clarification from them. If you're wondering why I wouldn't just look at the pricing matrix and see which lots they'd priced, the reason is that I keep the pricing separate from the rest of the process until after quality has been evaluated. I've already split quality and price by their proportions, and I don't want any unconscious bias to impact on a quality score where it's already been set and where a perception about what price is a good price could influence somebody's view of quality. So at the moment, that is kept closed. The next thing that I've clarified has been references. I asked for 3 references. I provided a template document, and I also explained what bidders needed to do if they weren't able to provide this. Almost all the bidders did provide the information, but I did get one that had redacted so much information I just could not verify it. And I had another one that just said available upon request. Let me be really clear, this is the request. Some evaluators will mark you down for vague or incomplete references. Some will exclude you. If I cannot verify your work easily, your bid is being weakened before it's even been read. So I have collated the references. I'm going to be sending them out while the quality evaluation is underway. But I don't want to be chasing references for bidders who won't be progressing. So I will send out those references, but I just want to be a little bit careful about my timing on it. I didn't need to seek any clarifications on health and safety. All the bidders provided their SSIP accreditation or certification, which is safety schemes in procurement. It's not scored, it's a compliance matter. It's about passing or failing. The actual detail of health and safety will be looked at separately under a quality question on CDM and RAMS. So that will be looked at separately. The other thing that I needed to get clarification on was the central digital platform. It was always going to happen. About a third of the bidders have made mistakes. Some have uploaded the PPON where they needed the share code. Others have provided the share code where they needed the PPON. Others have provided neither. Some have provided everything. What I've done is treat this with an element of flexibility. Again, I want to get the right businesses into these contracts, not just the ones with professional bid writers. If a third of the bidders are misunderstanding something, it suggests that the process needs clarity and not that they are incapable. So I will be sharing more information in the future with bidders. However, for now, I will just go through what the difference is between a PPON and a share code. So a PPON is a series of 4 uppercase letters, 4 lowercase letters, and 4 uppercase letters. It will have been provided when you registered on the central digital platform, which has this find a tender piece up here. Sometimes it's called a unique identifier, and sometimes it's called an organisation identifier, just to make things easy. The next piece of information that we've requested is the share code. The share code is within that document here. So when you registered on the Central Digital Platform, if you've not got one, you need to create one. You need to complete supplier information. So scroll down to here and complete supplier information. You can declare and create a share code if you scroll down to this piece here on that page. Here you will find your previous share codes, and it'll be a series of upper and lowercase letters, sometimes with a number in there. You can download as well. If you need to create a share code, you click on Create Share Code, and you then will be asked a series of, I think, 5 or 6 questions, which are your name, your role in the organisation, email address. It's nothing too complicated. Importantly, you won't need Authenticator for you on that one. When you get it, when you've pressed it, you'll get a share code page here. And underneath here, there'll be that series of upper and lowercase letters, sometimes with a number, and who created it. All this bit will be filled in here. If all you can do is provide the code on to the procurement person, then provide that code. If you can upload a document, or if you're asked for the PDF, you need to click on download. You'll open a document that will look like this. Again, I've redacted some information, but this is essentially what it will look like. It'll have your company information, it'll have your registration number, it'll have your PPON, it will have parent company information if you've got one, it might have trustee information, it'll have qualifications and trade assurances. It may have anything that could exclude your organisation, and it will also have a link to your company accounts. That is the difference between the share code. Your PPON is that series of 4 uppercase letters, 4 numbers, and 4 uppercase letters. Your share code is a short series of upper and lowercase letters with sometimes a number in it. The next thing that I want to talk about is the AI being used. So all the due diligence is now complete. And I thought that because of the volume of bids I got, I would have a look at this. The due diligence is done. This is not going to impact on any bidders, but I did think it was quite helpful because I have got over 40 bids in. So I have noticed that AI is being used more extensively across bidders. And I understand why. AI can save time, it offers structure, it helps you draft initial responses. But in this tender, when I asked AI itself to identify if it had been used, it estimated that around 70% of the bids had some element of AI involvement in it. About 55% of those were heavily AI led, with an additional 5% appearing to be written entirely by AI with no visible human refinement. Fully AI generated bids often read as a polished but generic response. They can miss context, they can miss detail, and sometimes they actually don't answer the question. Evaluators really can't tell. AI should be a support tool. It's not really a substitute for actual expertise. Tailoring, checking, and adding real world context is what's going to make your bid credible. Without that, you might well end up with something that is technically sound, but ultimately either non-deliverable or quite forgettable. It is something I'd like to explore further, so I'll be keeping an eye on it, and it's certainly not something that is going to impact negatively on any of these bidders. I trust but verify as I go through this process. So I won't be sharing the specific details of who is accused of what to the evaluation panel. It's just purely out of interest from my perspective. So clarifications, going back to clarifications. If you as a bidder have received a clarification and you've thought, gosh, this seems a bit out of the blue, it might be that I've not passed on the clarification until I've got all my clarifications in order. It might be that I don't want to start getting clarifications if I know that you're not going to pass another element of the due diligence stage. So I'll send them all out when I can do. I also don't want to be chasing clarifications if I know that a bidder has failed somewhere else. So it may feel a bit odd, but it is because we're managing multiple parts at the same time. And it also means that you can be clarifying a technical element of due diligence while the evaluation of quality gets underway. I have had bidders come back to me and say, actually, I can't respond within this timescale. I'm literally about to go on 2 weeks annual leave. We are all human. I can show a bit of grace. As long as that timescale is within my evaluation period, I will offer more flexibility where possible. If you are a bidder and you're not offered flexibility, then remember that this is the setting of the relationship. You may have invested an awful lot of time, money, and effort in bidding, but it is very expensive to be working with a client that is not flexible. So if you've got a buying organization who will not, who seeks a clarification at 3 o'clock on a Friday and needs it on their desk by 9 a.m. Monday, you should be asking yourself if this is the type of customer that you want. You need to work out when the right time to walk away is. Due diligence is now complete, as I say. I've verified key details, references will be going out, quality evaluation will be starting. This stage of due diligence doesn't always get the spotlight it deserves. It is genuinely one of the more revealing parts of the process. It's where I'm laying the foundation for a robust, fair, and successful outcome. If you're a bidder, then please do give full, clear information, be responsive, follow instructions, answer the question. If you're in procurement, don't be afraid to reflect. If a lot of people are making the same mistake, look at what potentially you can do to make it easier for people. Be reasonable and show flexibility where it's due. Procurement really isn't just about box ticking. It needs to be where smart decisions start. It's problem solving, it's risk management, it's relationship building. And yes, it really can be a genuinely interesting part of this process. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have found it useful. If you have found it helpful, then please do share it with your team and let me know in the comments what other parts of the tender process you would like me to cover. I will definitely be doing an overview of the quality evaluation next.